VMware vRealize Operations Specialist 5V0-35.21 exam online dumps are the latest material for you to clear the VMware test. 1. An administrator has deployed a vRealize Operations (vROPs) cluster in a continuous availability configuration across the two racks in two fault domains. Following a network outage that occurred for several minutes, the administrator has been tasked to ensure that the vROP's deployment is still healthy. They have noted that one cluster can still contact the witness node. Which two events will occur as a result of the outage? Choose 2. A. The vROPs cluster will bring the fault domain back automatically once the network has been restored. B. The administrator will need to bring the other fault domain online manually. C. The administrator will need to restart and resync the vROPs cluster. D. One fault domain will go offline. E. Both fault domains will be offline. 2. A system administrator creates a common catalog to be used by all customers. For availability purposes, the catalog will be consumed by a different VMware Cloud Director instance in a different country. Which catalog setting enables the catalog to be shared across VMware Cloud Director instances? A. Published catalog. B. Subscribed catalog. C. Content library catalog. D. Shared catalog. 3. An administrator has been tasked with configuring vRealize operations to ensure that workload performance across the VMware SDDC is the main priority. In the event of an issue, remediation activities should be automatically completed to minimize any impact to running workloads. A maximum of 10% cluster resources should be reserved for burst capacity. Which option should the administrator configure to meet these requirements? A. Business intent. B. Reclamation. C. Operational intent. D. Rightsizing. 4. An administrator is configuring and managing multi-site deployments. Which association member status is an invalid status? A. Inactive. B. Asymmetric. C. Active. D. Unreachable. 5. Which type of node in a vRealize operations (vROPs) design allows an administrator to scale out vROPs to monitor very large environments? A. Remote collectors. B. Replica primary nodes. C. Primary nodes. D. Data nodes. 6. An administrator has been tasked with making sure that the existing vRealize Operations Manager instance can monitor a newly deployed vSAN cluster within an existing vCenter server. Which action should the administrator take to accomplish this goal? A. Add vSAN cluster under Other accounts. B. Enable vSAN monitoring under existing vCenter server cloud account. C. Download and install vRealize Operations Management Pack for vSAN. D. Add vSAN cluster under cloud accounts. 7. An administrator has Telegraf agent installed on a server instance. Which type of remote check may be configured? A. ICMP Check. B. UDMP Check. C. RDP Check. D. WMI Check. 8. An administrator has enabled the allocation model in a policy and set the CPU overcommit ratio to 4:1 for all vSphere clusters in a vSphere datacenter. Why would vRealize operations report that the cluster has 0 days remaining when the actual CPU overcommit ratio is less than the 4:1 configured value? A. The allocation model will always report 0 remaining capacity when the actual ratio is less than the configured ratio. B. The allocation model does not account for powered-off virtual machines. C. The CPU demand in the cluster is less than the total CPU capacity. D. The CPU demand in the cluster is greater than the total CPU capacity. 9. An administrator has an existing vRealize operations instance that monitors an existing vSphere infrastructure. The company has just deployed NSXT across all hosts managed within this vSphere infrastructure. The administrator has been asked to configure vRealize operations to monitor the new NSXT installation. Which action should the administrator take to accomplish this goal? A. Add NSXT account under Cloud Accounts. B. Configure NSXT account in integrations. C. Configure NSXT monitoring under the cloud account of the existing vCenter server of the vSphere infrastructure. D. Add NSXT account under other accounts. 10. An administrator defines the role-based access control mechanisms for new vRealize Operations Manager implementation using LDAP authentication method. Which statement accurately describes these users? A. Credentials for these accounts are stored in its central Postgres database. B. They are not allowed to perform any actions in vRealize operations. C. They can access vSphere and other objects including third-party objects. D. The LDAP user password policy is set to expire every 45 days in vRealize operations.